It was just 3 days. 3 agonizing days that ripped open wounds I didn't even know were festering so deep. I lay in that sterile hospital bed in Chicago, the steady beep of monitors echoing my fear as I prayed not to lose the miracle baby growing inside me. Preeclampsia had hit hard, and the doctors weren't mincing words: bed rest, monitoring, the works. Meanwhile, back home, my parents and my sister decided it was the perfect time to educate my 5-year-old adopted daughter about her place in the family. They whispered poison into her ears, that she was just filler, that the real kids deserved the space, that maybe the orphanage was still waiting if she didn't shape up. When I finally walked through our front door, weak but relieved, and saw little Ava standing there in the hallway, her tiny backpack slung over her shoulders, stuffed with her favorite teddy and a few crumpled drawings, her eyes wide with a terror no child should know, something inside me snapped. Not broke, but shattered into sharp edges that would cut deep. Her small voice trembled as she asked, "Mommy, can I be smaller? I don't want to take up room." In that moment, the quiet betrayal I'd swallowed my whole life boiled over. My name is Elena, and this is how I learned that blood doesn't make family, choices do. And sometimes, the only way to protect the ones you love is to burn bridges with the ones who birthed you. Growing up in the windy suburbs of Illinois, I was always the afterthought to my sister Vanessa's spotlight. She was the firecracker, the one who could smash a vase and get laughs for her spirit, while I'd clean it up and get a lecture on being more careful. Straight A's? Why not valedictorian? She'd hear praise for C's as creative potential. I learned young to fade into the background, to be the reliable one who didn't demand attention. It built this armor around me, tough but brittle, teaching me to spot real love from the conditional kind. And when I met my husband, Mark, a soft-spoken accountant who hated confrontation but loved fiercely, I thought I'd finally escaped that shadow. We built a life together, simple and steady, in our cozy split-level home. But kids? That dream hit wall after wall. Years of fertility tests, negative strips, and that hollow ache each month. The specialists were blunt. My odds were slim to none. Endometriosis wreaking havoc. Adoption wasn't a fallback, it was our path forward. Chosen with open hearts after mountains of paperwork and soul-searching interviews. That's how Ava came into our world at 2 years old. A bundle of cautious curiosity from a foster home in Ohio. The first time her little hand gripped mine, it was like a missing piece slotted in. No DNA match. No shared features, just pure, chosen love. She's 5 now, all sass and sweetness, with that unfiltered honesty kids have before the world dulls it. We've been open about her adoption. She knows the basics. But at her age, orphanage is just a scary word from fairy tales, not a memory. Which made what my family did even more unforgivable. They weaponized her innocence against her. At first, they played nice. How precious, Mom would coo over the phone. But her visits were stiff. Hugs quick and perfunctory. Dad grunted approvals from his recliner, more interested in the Bears game. Vanessa? Her smiles were all teeth. No warmth. And then there was her daughter, Chloe, the same age as Ava, but treated like a little queen. Chloe's finger paintings were masterpieces worthy of framing. Ava's got a pat on the head and forgotten. Chloe was our little star. Ava was well-behaved. I saw Ava shrink a bit each time, her shoulders hunching as she tried harder to earn scraps of approval. But I told myself it was fine, we were her rock. Until the miracle pregnancy flipped everything. Against all odds, after years of impossible, 2 pink lines appeared. A fluke, the docs said. 1 in a million. Joy flooded us, not because Ava wasn't enough, but because she was. And now she'd have a sibling to share that with. But my family's reaction? Ice cold. Now you'll know what a real bond feels like, Mom said with that saccharine tone that masked the jab. Vanessa smirked over brunch. Bet you wish you'd waited instead of settling. Dad muttered about priorities shifting. Each word landed like a pinprick, echoing the favoritism I'd endured. But I bit my tongue, focused on the baby. Then, at 7 months, the scare hit, blood pressure skyrocketing. Hospital admission. The fear of preterm labor gripping my chest. Mark was frantic, juggling calls and work. Can Ava stay with you guys? He asked my parents. Just till Elena's stable. They agreed. All gracious on the surface. Grandparents. Right? It should have been safe. 3 days. That's all. Discharged on a crisp Thursday. Baby stable. Me exhausted but grateful. We drove straight to their house in the suburbs. Mom opened the door with her usual plastered smile. But Ava. God. Ava. She stood frozen in the entryway. Backpack on. Teddy's ear peeking out. Eyes downcast. No squeal. No tackle hug, just this haunted stillness. Hey. Sweetie, I said. Arms open. Nothing. Vanessa hovered in the background with Chloe, who smirked like she'd won some secret game. Mark reached for the backpack. Ava flinched. The drive home was silent torture. Ava stared out the window, clutching her teddy like a lifeline. Fun with Grandma? I probed gently. A shrug. Then, whisper soft, am I in the way? Mommy? I can be quiet. Smaller. Mark's grip tightened on the wheel. My heart plummeted. Who said that? Honey. But she clammed up, twisting the teddy's ear until I thought it'd tear. Home didn't fix it. She lingered in the hall, bag still on, like she might be asked to leave any minute. When I suggested unpacking, she burst, shoving toys away. Sobbing. I'm sorry. I'll make room. Don't send me back. Mark knelt fast. No one's sending you anywhere. But the floodgates opened. Auntie said I have to for the real kids. Said the orphanage wants me if I'm bad. The room spun. I pulled her close, her tiny frame shaking against mine, while fury ignited in my veins hot. Protective. Unstoppable. That night, as she slept fitfully, I paced the kitchen, Mark watching warily. Their words echoed. Make space. Real children. Orphanage. They'd shattered her security in 72 hours. And me? Those old splinters from childhood twisted deeper, forcing me to see the pattern I'd ignored. It wasn't new. As kids, Vanessa got the glory, I got the scraps. Her messes were adventurous, mine were failures. Family photos? Her in the center. Me on the edge. I'd internalized it, thinking that's just how it was. But seeing it replayed on Ava, Chloe the princess, Ava the outsider, cracked me open. Piecing it together later from Ava's halting confessions, during those days, when Ava accidentally bumped Chloe's dollhouse, Vanessa exploded. Know your place. You're not blood, you're extra. Make space or go back where you belong. Mom chimed in. All honeyed venom. The baby's coming, we can't have clutter. Maybe the orphanage is better. 3 days of erosion. Chipping at a child's worth until she believed she was disposable. And when we picked her up, they smiled like saints, gaslighting us all. The decision crystallized that night, no more. Saturday morning. Ava at ballet class, twirling innocently, we drove back to confront them. Mark's knuckles white. You sure? I was steel, 7 months pregnant and done playing small. Yes. The house smelled of fresh coffee. A facade of normalcy. Mom with cookies. Dad in his chair. Vanessa lounging like royalty. Her husband nodding along. Chloe crayoning triumphantly. I cut through. What the hell did you say to my daughter? Freeze frame silence. Mom, oh. Elena. dramatic as ever. She misunderstood. Vanessa, she was disrupting Chloe, needed boundaries. Boundaries? She's 5. The only boundary is not bullying a kid into thinking she's trash. Dad, hormones talking. Sensitive. Gaslight classic. I pressed. You threatened the orphanage? Vanessa shifted, not literally, just to behave. Mom, it worked. Didn't it? Then Vanessa's mask cracked. Stop acting like she's equal to Chloe. She's not blood matters. The room didn't defend her. No shock. No denial, just complicit quiet. Clarity hit, they wouldn't change. Never had for me. Wouldn't for Ava. Mark, they won't. Elena. I rose, then they won't see my kids. Ever. Mom gasped, we're family. Exactly, and family doesn't do this. Vanessa scoffed, jealous. Always. I laughed coldly, of what? Your cruelty. We left them sputtering. The air lighter with each step away. That night, phone in hand, I nuked the family chat, years of Chloe pics. Guilt trips. Obligations. Started fresh with real allies, friends. Supportive aunts. Mark. Planned the baby shower my way. Invitations to those who saw Ava as family. The backlash? Immediate. Mom's call, excluding us? Ungrateful. Vanessa, poisoning everyone against us, you'll regret. Dad, family doesn't cut off. I muted. Let them rage. They spun tales to relatives. Elena's unstable. Hormonal. A cousin called. Your mom says you're banning them over nothing. I laid it bare. They told Ava she wasn't real. Threatened orphanage. Shock. Jesus. The truth spread. Seeds of doubt blooming. The shower was magic, our home alive with laughter. Ava beaming as big sis. Then the doorbell. Them. Uninvited, Mom with a wilted cake. Dad stiff. Vanessa with a gaudy gift. Husband in tow. Family forgives, Mom beamed. They barged in. Performing, Mom, this baby unites us properly. Vanessa, blood's different. Whispers rippled. The snap, a friend to Ava, excited. Big sis? Vanessa muttered, please. Not a real sister. Dead silence. Ava wilted against me. Cousin, you said that. Guest, in front of her? Mark, out. Vanessa, twisting words. Me, you just exposed yourselves. Proved Ava right. They backpedaled. But the room turned, disgust palpable. Door slammed. Cake abandoned. A year later. No contact. They tried post-birth, messages begging to meet the baby, our son. Liam. Ignored. Dad at the door with a toy, shut out. Silence followed. But the fallout? Their story leaked orphanage threats. Shower cruelty. Friends distanced. Family recoiled. Neighbors whispered. Their lovely facade crumbled to those monsters. My life? Freed. Ava thrives. No more shrinking, proud sis. Scattering books and toys without apology. Liam grows in equality. No shadows. Peace. Hard won. From cutting rot. Regrets? None. The price of choice, loss. But gain in worth. Family's what you build. Not endure.